Well, happening tonight for you, NBC Bay Area's conversation about race in America continues. I want you to join Jessica Gearing me. This is at 6:30 for that. But I want to start some of that conversation for you this morning with what it's like for reporters dealing with these issues as black journalists. Well, one reporter near and dear to us here on Today in the Bay recently shared this in a post. I want to read it for you here. It says, while reporting on the death of George Floyd, an anchor unexpectedly said, "Can I ask you a personal question?" He wanted to know my reaction the first time I saw the now infamous video of an officer's knee pressing Floyd's neck as he begged for mercy, unable to breathe. That reporter joining us this morning, you know her, Tracie Potts, for all you loyal viewers out there. She's an NBC News Washington journalist for us, reporting from stations all over the country. And Tracie, thank you so much for joining us. I want you to talk to us about your reaction when you heard that question.
Well, at first I didn't want to answer it because I didn't think it was the place of a reporter to give my personal opinion, but this is such a different type of story to cover. And what I mean by that, you know, typically we don't give our opinions in stories, and I still obviously want to always be fair and objective, but perspective is important. And when you are an African American in this country, your perspective is often different than some of your colleagues. And so I did answer the question. I said I was shocked, you know, seeing him there made me think of my own son, and what if that was my son in that position? And I often wonder, you know, our viewers know that, you know, we're people in addition to the people that they see in the box and in the screen, and things affect us just like they do everyone else. When you were reading the story a minute ago talking about George Floyd saying 28 times, "I can't breathe," I mean, my heart started beating when I heard that again. It's emotional.
It really is, and I know part of your article I was reading, it did say, you know, when you see those faces, you're not always a journalist, sometimes you're a mother, and you mentioned your 16-year-old son. I want to put up a quote that you said in that article as well. You said, "One day my 16-year-old son was headed to the grocery store, and I found myself hugging him repeatedly. I cried a bit when he left, wondering, what if he has a bad encounter with police, and the next time I see his face, it's under a sheet at the morgue." When I read that, Tracie, I'm going to be honest with you, tears started to fill my eyes because, I think about my mother. I'm my mother's
It's hard.
only child.
It's hard.
That's hard.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about that,
It's hard,
Tracie.
Marcus. And I'm an only child. Yeah, I'm an only child, so I feel that. And he is my only son. And when you see things like this, you just wonder. You know, one of the things I was saying is, how do you see your child as this bright, fun, precocious person, and somebody else sees them differently because of the color of their skin? It's so hard. It's so hard.
It really is. You know, it's one a lot of us have to deal with. You know, being a black man myself, you know, you deal with a lot of that, and you understand what parents have to go through, and you know, it's just living everyday life, and it's hard.
It hurts right here.
It's hard, you know, and you know, in your article you also talked about, you know, we're taught in school to report the facts, respect the truth, and that's what we do, and that's what we really strive to do every day. But when life interjects with your reporting, it's hard to not give your personal experience, because you said it really is to give perspective, not so much to create bias, but really create a perspective in telling that story.
Right, and there's a perspective that you have, that I have, that some of our colleagues may not have had. And what I have come to believe, Marcus, is we have to be fair and objective. We know that. That's just a bottom line. But it's important to bring that perspective. That is why we are here. That is why we are blessed to be in the position that we are. Because it's important to bring, I can't hold something back from the story that will help you understand the story better. And if that something is who I am, or an experience that I've had, or an experience that my family has had, I think that only adds to people understanding what's going on. But it's, you know, I get it, and I feel what you're feeling, because we have not always been in this position where we're covering stories, but we kind of really know, and not always in a very positive way, what those stories are like on the back end.
It is.
And thank you. I'm so glad that you're having these conversations.
And I thank you for sharing and writing that piece, because it was very insightful and honest. And I thank you for that and talking to us this morning, Tracie.
Yeah, have a good one. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.